What are your thoughts on multi-big streamers smurfing on live stream using a certain method to get baby killers? Are you guys saying that there's certain people playing to get easier games on Survivor? Drew claims big streamers do that on Twitter and his streams. I don't know how you come to that conclusion. It feels like some sort of moist critical type stuff. I don't actually want to say what moist critical says.
Some girls' fat fucking titties, like some big honking milkers, and it'll say like, tap here for sex with me.
We're gonna become a Charlie!
Well. So DBD Twitter has kind of exploded again. The debate of creators purposefully lowering their MMR has kind of started up again. I don't really get it. I don't think anybody purposely deranks their MMR. It's really silly. I don't think anyone out there does that or even wants to do that. But, you know, True made a poll on Twitter, and, you know, I get it. He is a killer main, and I understand it. He wanted to just get people's opinions. And he wrote, how many people do you guys think derank lower their MMR on Dead by Daylight? Some are very obvious, but curious on your guys' perception, so here's our poll.
Let me look at something. So Otsava goes AFK for 30 seconds at the start of the match, completely empty loadout, plays all the killers, and he gets an average of 3 kills per game. Obviously, this is not like a high MMR thing. This is an experiment on all killers to see what it's like. And there may have been a certain content creator in the past that might have a low kill rate on this list that was like, Altstarva, did you derank to get these results? And they might have a bit of a low kill rate on average on this particular list, and their tweets may have been deleted right here, right? Altstarva did not derank. All right, the reason why his kill rates were like this was because all his killers have like a mixed variety of MMRs, okay? Trapper probably has a low-ass MMR, that's okay. Trapper's like very hard. Clown, same thing. There was a point where a certain streamer may have thought that Altstarva was deranking, but Altstarva doesn't derank. I almost know that for certain. And this certain somebody might be saying that like, oh my god, people are deranking to get easier games. That's not happening. There are too many survivors, right? And there's not enough killers. So the game just gives people fuck all. There's like 20 killers, right? And it's like 5 bajillion survivors. So the game's just like, fuck it. We're going to give you whoever the fuck is there. The matchmaking system's all fucked up. And also we got that backlog system thing where it's like, oh, sometimes when someone leaves, the game will predict that you'll lose the game.
I don't think anybody purposely deranks their MMR.
He didn't derank to do this experiment.
And he wrote, how many people do you guys think derank lower their MMR on Dead by Daylight? Some are very obvious, but curious on your guys' perception, so here's our poll. And my issue with this sentiment, I think he's just misguided and mistaken on this. I think the whole misconception of MMR, especially on Survivor side, is that if you go against a killer who might be new, that means you derank your MMR, and that's what a lot of people think kind of nowadays, but that's really just not true. The MMR system is so busted that you will go against newer players when you have thousands of hours, and it's not really anything that you have to do with it. And when you play as killer with MMR, you still sometimes go against very new players, but a lot of the time, if your MMR is high on killer, you're going to be going against comp squads, and that's not very fun either.
So I want to show the developer thing.
MMR system itself, the ratings, is absolutely working well. We've gathered tons and tons of data that show it's really good at predicting match outcomes. The problem, and there is a problem, lies more with the matchmaking system itself and the situations where it puts players into a game that it already knows will be imbalanced.
Yep.
Matchmaking is always a bit of a balancing act between speed and fairness. You can find matches really, really fast, but they will be comically unbalanced and unfair and not fun for the people involved. You can also make all matches extremely balanced, but it'll take hours to find them. It would be really easy for us to say every match is perfectly balanced if y'all were willing to wait for 3 hours to play every single match. That doesn't sound like a good time, though. So, you know, there are places in our system that prioritize speed over fairness right now a little bit too much. And I think one of the prime examples, and likely where a lot of these problems are coming from, is from a concept that we call backfilling. This is when a player quits from a lobby or doesn't manage to connect to the lobby due to a network issue that they're having. So, you know, the lobby where you're seeing all the players before the game actually starts. In this case, when a player doesn't make it in or they disconnect from there, we massively prioritize speed.
They massively prioritize speed. So that's why it kind of looks like some people are deranking. And it's like, wow, Why is this streamer going against easy as fuck survivors? Because of this backfill thing that we call backfilling. And because the matchmaking system dramatically prioritizes speed.
I just think it's really silly when people try to claim that creators are deranking their MMR purposely. If you look at it this way, what does someone do during the day, all right? 8 hours sleeping. If you're a consistent streamer, you probably spend an average of 4 hours every day. Okay, so we're up to 12. And if you're a consistent creator, you're probably going to spend about 4 hours on editing. So that's 16 right there. And do you have a social life? Yeah, you probably do. Probably two hours maybe right there. Even if there's a large number of hours left in the day, who in the hell would want to spend more of that time on Dead by Daylight purposely deranking their MMR?
Yeah, I never played Dead by Daylight off stream. So I will admit there is a hole in this argument, okay? You don't necessarily need to derank. I'm gonna make a proof of concept right here. All right, I'm gonna log out of my account. I'm gonna log out of Dead by Daylight, right? And I'm gonna be like, oh damn, I want some really easy games of Dead by Daylight. Oh, if only I could derank. If I derank, I'll get really easy Dead by Daylight games. Wow, I can't wait to play some awesome, easy Dead by Daylight. Let's fire up some DB. Let's see what happens. Oh wow. I am a 0 MMR killer main, and yeah, I have 0 MMR, and oh shoot, everyone's gonna know I'm on a different account. Everyone's gonna know I'm on a different account. Oh shit, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Quick, whip out the paint. Whip out the paint. Whip out the paint. Whip out the paint. All right. Rank one. Okay. All right. Now that I do this, and then I do something like this, and like, bam, 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 bam. I'm a rank 1 killer. Oh, I'm a rank 1 killer. Let's fucking go. Let's go. Let's play some good old-fashioned Dead by Daylight. Coconut, where are your perks? What do you mean? I'm on my main account. I'm on my main account. Let's be honest. This is one way to do it. But who in their right mind is going to level up a second account? So that it looks completely the same as their main. No fucking person's going to do that. So Rapid's point still stands. I do admit we are a true rank 1 hockey player. This is a way around it, but no one in their right mind, streamers, are going to do this shit. Because everyone, if they are switching accounts, everyone will know. It's clearly obvious. You'll look at the perks when they're spending their stuff on the blood webs. You'll see their killer list. It's not, some things are not unlocked. The levels are not gonna be the same. They didn't do this shit.
So I don't really know who would want to derank their MMR purposely for hours and hours and hours on end. This sentiment keeps being brought up, and I don't think it's creators' faults for going against newer players. These are the same people who argue that MMR doesn't work, and we also argue that. So I don't know what people are really getting at with this whole debate. There have been some people claiming that creators are doing this so they can bully new players, which again, I don't think is the case, and I think it's very disingenuous to say that type of stuff.
It's very unlikely.
I think if we all had the choice, we would all remove MMR because it is actively killing off a part of Dead by Daylight's fan base, the veteran players. And yeah, I just don't think it's that good. Sure also put out, when do you think survivor mains on Dead by Daylight will stop gatekeeping killers' gameplay by belittlement and insults? It creates this very controlling and toxic relationship that I'm sure many people playing killer have to experience whether we ignore it or address it.
When do you think survivor mains on Dead by Daylight will stop gatekeeping killers' gameplay with belittlement? Dude, both sides do this shit. It's just what people do. It's like, when I kill somebody, I'm like, get fucked, you nerd. Oh, suck it. But like, and at the end of the day, it's just some friendly banter. Oh, yeah. Oh, do you like that palette? Oh, you like that? It's just the banter at the end of the day.
To be fair, he's not necessarily wrong, but also, it's not like killers. There are some killers that also don't act toxic. Yeah, sometimes I do go against newer players, but do I control that? No. Once I get off stream from doing a 6-hour stream, I go to bed, wake up, edit, make a video, relax, do it all over again. I'm not going to spend 6 hours after every stream deranking my MMR purposely. That is the biggest waste of time I can ever think.
But I do admit there is something in the past. This has happened in the past. I'm not going to name any names. In the past, where there was 0 DC penalty, this was a thing. Because people just spam disconnect, D-rank all the way down. Who used to do that? I'm not saying that. That now that the DC penalty is in place, you actually have to play 6 hours of gameplay. You can't just spam disconnect, down. It's not that easy anymore. This is why I think that people can't do it anymore. But there used to be, I'm not going to say any names, people who did this.
This argument of deranking MMR, I think, is just really silly. And I don't think any person has ever done it. I know 1 or 2 people who have actually admitted to doing it. One person who was trying to go for a 500 demo win streak had admitted that he purposely deranked MMR to be able to go against Bedrock Survivor players. I think people are using these type of situations where they take one example of someone deranking their MMR purposely and apply it to the rest of killers and survivors in certain situations.
I hate bringing something up like this because it doesn't help my argument, but it's important to understand both sides, even though I'm covering it. In the past, people would abuse the fact that Dead by Daylight had no disconnect penalty, and they'd constantly disconnect over and over again to D-rank so that they go against easier killers. That was a thing. But in the current state with the disconnect penalty, it's no longer a thing.
Even I did a nurse win streak. I only got to 25, which isn't a bad number considering MMR, but it was only 25. Even during that streak, I faced some newer players, and even after that streak, when I lost it, I faced some newer players. So the MMR system obviously does not work. People are going to go against baby killers. People are going to go against baby survivors. It happens. It's not really the person's fault. Don't hate the player, hate the game.
I genuinely think that it's the backfill system. A lot of the claims are like trauma from the past, when people used to do that when it was viable with the disconnect penalty off. The matchmaking system's fucked. The devs have even said it themselves sometimes. So yeah, all good stuff. And yeah, what do you guys think about it? Am I right about it? Or is this something that's actually happening?